A convicted Sacramento child molester who was sentenced to 3 life sentences does remain behind bars this morning, facing new charges. David Funston was set to be released on Thursday after the California Parole Board authorized his release through the state's elder parole program.
Well, we are now joined by former Sacramento County District Attorney and current CEO of the Criminal Justice League Foundation, Marie Schubert, to talk about this case. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's talk about this. He was set to be released and returned to local custody yesterday, though, with a no-bail warrant. Can you tell us about the new charges that were filed by the DA's office?
So when I did the trial back in the late 90s, we called a victim that had been a victim from another county as a witness, and he was ultimately sentenced. And then Placer County decided, given the fact that he's now been granted parole under a new law, that they would file charges based upon that prior crime because that's within the statute of limitations. So they have I believe they've charged him with 1 count of child molestation from the crimes that happened in 1996.
Was this something, when you were the prosecutor, that you foresaw could end up happening? Is that why these were put on the back burner, or why was this done?
Well, I mean, nobody in their right mind would think that somebody that's convicted of all these crimes with 3 life terms and 20 years would actually get out of prison.
Right.
But what happened is the law changed, starting in 2018, and then in 2020, Governor Newsom reduced it even further to 50. And so Placer County, good for them, they realized that, no, he's a dangerous person, and we're going to proceed on this. And at the time, in the 90s, they felt that he was going to do a life term like I did.
Right.
The circumstances changed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can we talk more about his crimes? Because this is why people are so baffled by this case and even the possibility of him getting out. We're talking about kidnapping, sexually assaulting children under the age of 10 years old, luring them with candy. I mean, it really sounds like a nightmare from the movies.
There's no question. I mean, listen, I was a prosecutor for a very long time. I've never seen a child sexual predator like this man.
Wow.
Hope I never do. But he hunted for children essentially over a short period of time of 6 months. He kidnapped these kids. They were all under the age of 7. The youngest was 3. I mean, it's probably too graphic to talk about on television, but what he did to these kids is really beyond the pale and demonstrates that he's a pedophile and he's dangerous.
Oh. Okay, so I want to talk about, we're not the only state, obviously, as you were discussing, that has a elderly parole program. The age, though, as you just said, has now been reduced to 50. Our state doesn't have an exception to the rule for sex crimes against children. How did we actually get here that this type of thing could happen?
Well, there's been a movement in California over the last several years to reduce the prison population. There's what I would consider more soft on crime types of policies. And so our supermajority legislature thought that it would be a good idea to allow people to get out of prison early. That, as you mentioned, the biggest challenge is, why in the world are we not excluding sex offenders? I mean, who in their right mind thinks that we should do this? But then our parole board, let's be honest, Governor Newsom signed the law and he appointed the parole board. And so that's, there's 2 parts to this that people can't forget, is that we got to this place because of the policies and decisions of our government.
Can the governor, what can he do from here? Can the governor do something to stop this man from being released?
No, but he's been paroled. Let's not forget that. He has been paroled, so he's no longer an inmate of the California State Prison System. He's now an inmate of Placer County Jail. But the only thing that we can do, which, thankfully Placer County's charged him. However, we need to change the laws. And good, bad, or indifferent, this has caused a tremendous amount of interest by both Democrats and Republicans. I mean, people are shocked. How could this happen?
Right.
And so I think we're going to make some big changes. Hopefully, we're going to exclude sex offenders. Hopefully, this age of 50 is not going to be 50, because I don't think most people in the right mind think that 50 is elderly. But that there's going to be a lot of changes, I think, as a result, sadly, of this case and some other cases that have occurred.
I do want to just point out an appeal was made to Governor Newsom's office to overturn this release. In response, his office said the governor lacks the power to overturn a decision made by an independent panel. But the governor appointed the members of the parole board, as you pointed out. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that in there.
That's
morning.
Correct. I mean, he appointed these folks. He does not have the power to reverse a decision on what we call a non-murder case. So that might be another law that's opportunity that he would then have the power on these types of cases to reverse it.
Well, Marie, we hear the public's frustration and your frustration with this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yep.